If you don't have a plan for your money will be gone. But don't worry, after watching this video, you'll know the 7 places where I plan to put my money in order to build my wealth in the future, so you can do the same. If that sounds good to you, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video. Also hit that like button. Why? Because it's a budgeter's dream. It doesn't cost you a penny. Okay, so the first place where my money goes after I get paid is into a pension. What is a pension? A pension is essentially a pot of money which you can live on when you retire. Most people get a state pension, but in my opinion, it's not enough to live comfortably when you retire. Currently, the maximum state pension is £175 a week. And that is why I also contribute to my workplace pension. Currently in the UK, there's something called automatic enrolment into your workplace pension. So I was automatically enrolled into the pension scheme. So the reasons that I haven't opted out of the pension, I'm still paying into it, is firstly that your employer also makes a contribution to the pension. So essentially they're giving you free money, just that you can't access this money until a certain age. Secondly, this money is taken out before tax. So essentially you get a tax break on your remaining income. Contributing into the pension early allows the money to compound. When the value of your pension goes up, you then make interest on the higher value, and that can keep accumulating over time, and it's like an exponential effect where the earlier you start putting your money to work, this money can accumulate over time and build wealth to use in retirement. So the second place my money goes is to pay off all high interest debt. So just like compound interest can work in your favor over time, compounding debt can really put you in a difficult spot and take away wealth very quickly. This is why it's a good idea to attack high interest debt as quickly and as aggressively as you can. So I've just been approved for my credit card and I plan to use it regularly. I need to make sure that I pay off the full amount so debt can't compound and work against me. So from April, I'm also going to have to start paying back my student loans. Good thing about student loans in the UK is that it's not really a traditional debt, it's more like a tax on your earnings. So if you don't earn enough money, you don't pay back the debt, which is the biggest difference between our student loans debt repayments and student loan debt repayments in America. So currently I plan to pay the minimum of my student loans and just keep it moving. There's 2 good ways to think about debt repayment. I believe they're coined by Dave Ramsey. They are firstly the debt snowball. So this is where you list all your debts from smallest to largest, and then you attack the smallest one as hard as you can, clear it, and then move on to the next smallest and work your way up that way. So this is quite good if you like small wins. It keeps your motivation going to clear all the debt. If you don't change your lifestyle and you live the same throughout, you will have more money to put towards the bigger debts as you clear the ones below it. The second way of clearing debt will save you the most money in the long run, but it means you need to be the most disciplined throughout the course of the payment of the debt. So it's called the debt avalanche. So it's where you list your debts from highest to smallest and you clear the biggest debts first and work your way down that way. You do save money compared to the debt snowball because the big debts can't compound and accumulate as fast. So the third place your money can go to is crucial payments. So this can include your mortgage, gas and electric bill, all the things you have to buy to survive. This is where living within your means is really important. If you can keep your costs low and have money to put towards other areas, it's a good way to build in wealth. I like the sound of the 50-30-20 budget, where 50% of your money goes to crucial payment, 30% of your money goes to doing what you want and to enjoy, and 20% of the money should go to saving and investing. You work hard for your money, so you may as well make your money work hard for you. The fourth place I put my money is into cash savings. So having cash savings is building up an emergency fund. So I've touched on emergency fund in another video, so I'll link that up here. But essentially the emergency fund is like a rainy day pot of like 3 to 6 months expenses, where if something goes wrong you can quickly access this money and you don't have to start using credit card debt or so on to pay for unexpected expenses. Some advice that I've taken from watching the Meaningful Money podcast is that any money that you expect to spend in the next 3 years should be held in cash, just because obviously the stock market can go up and down and you don't want to have to take your money out when it's down, which would solidify a loss. The fifth place my money goes is investing in myself. Successful people are always learning to add value to other people's lives. The more value you can add to people's lives, the more money you can make. So investment in yourself is worth it in the long run. There's a good quote in Think Rich, Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, where he says, "The person who stops learning merely because they finish schooling is hopelessly doomed to mediocrity." The best way to increase your value to others is to learn new skills, because in the rapidly changing world, standing still is essentially going backwards. So the sixth place my money goes is investing. The money I don't believe I'm going to need or use in the next 3 years, I'll put into my investment ISA. So investing your money is a great way to make your money work for you. It's important to put your money to work for you, especially now at times of low interest rates and high inflation rates. That's just eroding your wealth. If you want to know more about how inflation is eroding your wealth, check out this video and I'll link it down in the description. Historically, there are 3 ways to invest that have done well. First is investing in bonds, there's investing in stocks, and there's investing in real estate. So bonds is essentially a government loan. These are quite safe but don't have as high a rate of return as stocks and shares do. So buying stocks is essentially buying a piece of a company. If you're the part owner of the company may pay you something called a dividend, which is essentially payment to the owners of the company. And if the company's stock price rises, you make money, and if the stock price falls, you can lose money. And then real estate, the thing that everyone wants to get into at the moment, is essentially if you buy a house, you can either do the house up and sell it for a profit, so that's a capital gain, or you could rent it out and produce like a monthly income from that property. So you can also invest in a REIT, which is essentially just a managed real estate portfolio. And finally, the 7th place my money goes, after I've bought anything I need, paid off any debt, and invested in myself and the stock market, is to treat myself. Following a budget shouldn't be painful, and if possible, money should be set aside for doing things that you obviously enjoy. If you're following the 50-30-20 budget, a good 30% of your income can be left to buy things you just want to do and to enjoy. It's just important to not put yourself back to square one and overbuy, putting yourself into more debt which you've just tried to clear. So what do you think about where I put my money? Do you do anything differently? I'd love to know. I love hearing your responses. Let's build wealth together. I'll see you next week.